The Calgary Police Service and the family of a young woman hit by a truck in Midnapore earlier this month are asking for the public's assistance in attempting to identify the driver and the vehicle involved in the collision. At approximately 5:20 p.m. on Tuesday, December the 8th, 2015, a 25-year-old female, Yulia POTEKHINA, was crossing in a crosswalk at the intersection of Bannister Road and Midlake Boulevard southeast. A driver was turning from southbound Bannister Road onto eastbound Midlake Boulevard when he struck her. The vehicle then left the scene. As a result of this particular collision, Yulia sustained serious leg and head injuries and remains in serious but stable condition in hospital. We have been able so far through our investigation to identify or locate the vehicle involved in this particular collision. We are now looking for a dark-coloured truck, possibly a 2009 to 2015 Ford F150. A photo of the vehicle that we are interested in is available through the City of Calgary Police Newsroom. Anybody with information in regards to this collision is please asked to come forward by contacting the traffic section at 403-567-4000 or anonymously through Crime Stoppers. I would now like to invite Yulia's boyfriend Matthew and her mother Tatiana to speak to you on behalf of the family.
Hello everyone, Yulia is my daughter. She just turned 25 this year. Yulia is a loving child and she would also always do more for anyone than just for herself. All our family, her sister, her father, and her fiancé are still in shock. Yulia got serious injuries and she has gone through 4 surgeries already. Her femur and pelvis were badly broken. She will spend months and months in recovery. The accident happened on December 8. Our family got together to have a dinner for my birthday party. We were waiting for about an hour for her, and then we started to realize that something really bad had happened. We ask everyone who has the information about that accident to come forward and provide information to Calgary Police. This will mean a lot for our family. This person should be off the roads. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'm Yulia's fiance. I've been with Yulia for the greater part of 5 years. She's the most selfless person that I know. I'll give you a little story. 7 years ago, I had a brain tumor. I moved from Edmonton to Calgary, went to SAIT. I met Yulia at SAIT. She looked beyond the facial paralysis I have on the right side of my face and saw me for who I was and has supported me emotionally for 6 years. And now it's my turn to do the same, but it's hard to look at her in the hospital with that broken body of hers and think that this isn't going to affect her emotionally and physically for the rest of her life. I hope the person that did this finds it in their soul to come forward and help us out. It would mean a lot to us. Thank you.
So on behalf of the investigators and the family, I'll take your questions now, if you have any.
Sergeant, there's 1,000 trucks that match that description.
That's correct.
In Calgary. How do you expect to locate it? I mean, they all look the same. They're all F-150s, big model, gray color.
Yeah. So initially we were looking for a red truck. That was based on witness information. We've knocked on several hundred doors and examined several hundred red trucks that live in that immediate vicinity. As a result of those particular inquiries, the owner of a red truck actually came forward and said, I hit something, I thought it was a pothole. We were able to eliminate that particular person from our inquiries as we were able to confirm his account of the day and everything else. I believe that the driver in this particular collision may be of the opinion that he may have hit a pothole, he may have hit a snowbank, something like that, and doesn't realize that he was involved in striking Yulia. What I would encourage is that anybody who may have been in the vicinity of Bannister Road by Midlake Boulevard, who drives a late model grey or dark coloured Ford F150 around 5:20 in the afternoon of the 8th of December, please come forward. You've heard from Tatiana, you've heard from Matthew. They want some sort of closure. We want to try and speak to the driver just so that we can get his account. If it is purely accidental, we always will be sympathetic to that. But at the same token, if you know that you've done this, then we would encourage you to come forward sooner rather than later.
You said you think maybe the driver thinks he hit like a pothole or a snowbank. How this
Possibly.
is a person? Like, do you want to just? Is it just because the size of the truck, or how does that work?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's a collision that occurred at night time. Yulia was wearing relatively dark clothing. It's an intersection. There's lots of things going on. And it could be that the driver honestly thinks they may have just hit a curb or a snowbank or whatever. That's why we encourage them to come forward. Or it may be they know exactly what they've done, and they're just trying to hide with all the other several thousand Ford F-150s that are out there. This person, if he knows he's done it, he will have spoken to somebody and mentioned it to somebody. You know what, I think I may have hit somebody. That is the case. We encourage that person who has that information to come forward and help us. And that's why I'm saying, if anybody was in that vicinity and go, you know what, I remember hitting something, but I just thought it was a pothole, please come forward. We want to speak to you.
Were there lots of witnesses?
We do have a number of witnesses, but unfortunately the information they're providing has been fairly conflicting, which is why initially we were looking for a red truck, now we're looking for a grey truck. The evidence that we've been able to collect through video surveillance footage from transit and all the businesses in the area indicates that we're looking for this grey truck.
And so she was hit, and then did people rush to help her? Or?
That's my understanding, yes. She was looked after fairly quickly by other motorists and other pedestrians, and thankfully she was taken to hospital fairly quickly so that her injuries weren't any more severe than they are already.
Was it a well-lit crosswalk, Colin? Could the driver see people crossing there?
I'm trying to remember what the conditions were exactly like on that night. I don't recall whether or not it was light snow or anything like that, but it is a typical crosswalk in a residential, well, in a commercial area. So there would have been some form of lighting there. How good it is, I'm not going to speculate at the moment.
When you say the driver might be mistaken, he thinks that inadvertently, like, was the victim, was she horizontal, was she walking? Like, how could you mistake a human person?
When you're turning your vehicle, you're looking at lots of different things. You're looking to your left, you're looking to your right. It may have been that when contact was made with Yulia, the driver may have been looking for other vehicles on the roadway from a different direction. And like I said, when he hears this bang and looks up, he can't see anything there because Yulia's already on the road, lying on the road. So there's that potential that he may not have realised, or she may not realise, that they've struck a pedestrian. And we just want to get their account of what happened. And like I said, anybody who's in the vicinity at the time of the collision, who's got a grey Ford F-150 or similar, please come forward. You may not realise you've hit somebody, but we do need to speak to you.
I guess as a service, do you have a message for drivers? I mean, it strikes me as insane that someone could hit someone and not realize. Like, is there a message for drivers?
I've been doing a few of these in the last couple of weeks in one form or another, and it's always the same message. Drivers have responsibility to make sure that they are safe to proceed, especially over pedestrian crossings or in the vicinity of pedestrian crossings. You've got to look out for pedestrians. Pedestrians have got to look out for vehicles. Make sure those vehicles are slowing and they are stopping for you. Make sure that the driver sees you. Try and make that eye contact with them. It's incumbent on both pedestrians and drivers to make sure that we can all get around safely and get home to our family, or get home to our families.